Jubilee, come on. Come on. Come on. Good morning. I really wasn't planning on making another 40-day fast update, but I have this lovely opportunity and I do have an update. I'm out walking right now, the half-mile from my house to my in-laws' house because the dogs, those are all 4 of our dogs. We let them out and they disappeared this morning, and so I knew they were rabbit hunting up. Uh-oh, here comes a Mennonite on a horse and buggy with all these dogs. If they go crazy barking at this horse, I'm not going to be happy about it. But the dogs left my house and they run up to my in-laws' house to rabbit hunt in the field next to their house. Here's my house. Okay, here comes the horse and buggy. I'll be nonchalant about this, but I'd love to show you all the horse and buggy. It's beautiful. And from our house, we can hear, especially on Sunday nights when they're coming home from church, we can hear the footprints, the hoof prints. No, Clyde. It's really lovely. There's this highway right next to my house, and on Sunday nights, there are lots and lots and lots of Mennonites coming home from church, and they come down this road. Here's my update. Regularity. I am experiencing and enjoying regularity with regards to my sleep patterns, my eating habits, my hunger levels, and my digestion. And I will not go into the details of the digestion, but trust me, it's just so great to function properly and how we were designed to function. And again, I'm still making my way through that podcast that Susan Miller shared with me. If you're interested, it's up underneath the video in the comment section from Susan Miller, the video called What About French Fries? I'm learning so much about how us humans have done what us humans do, which is mess everything up. Am I right? If we have been consistent over time with one thing, it's taking the gifts that God has given us and just twisting them and perverting them and making a big mess that we then have to, well, we think we got to figure out how to get out of. We got to find a way out, and we had the way out from the beginning, and the way is Jesus. So John 14:6, I am the way. He tells us. It's almost like one of those like hidden treasures, those riddles where the answer has been there the whole time. So my appetite regularity is really exciting for me, and my right hand is very cold. I'd like to make this brief. I'm finding that if I stay, if is the key word, away from these substances, the 16 things that I listed in the beginning, the 16 things that I list on my little 1-minute video called I Quit, if I stay away from all these things that I get tangled up with, then my body can function properly. And I can trust that I will eat the right amount of the right things, only by the grace of God. So I'm still absolutely allowing the Holy Spirit to lead me. There's a lot of times where I eat something and want more, and God makes it clear, you can have whatever you want. He's told me that from the beginning. You can have whatever you want, because that is the truth. We can have whatever we want. The key is wanting what He wants us to have, having the mind of Christ. He tells me a lot lately, you can have more. You can have whatever you want. And I sort of imagine that a little bit tongue-in-cheek, where he's like, you can have whatever you want after you drink your water. So I drink 2 of these a day. So he's like, finish your water, then you can have whatever you want. He and I both know that if I will drink that water, then what I want will change. So whatever I'm wanting before the water, he and I both know that it's likely not gonna be, I'm not gonna want the same thing afterwards, because once I drink the water, then a very real need has been met. And I'm no longer dehydrated. A lot of times, I've said many times on this channel, a lot of times dehydration, so thirst, is presented as hunger. Walter, oh my gosh, come on up here. I have a bowl of water for you on the front porch. A lot of times when we're thirsty, it feels like we're hungry. Here's another Mennonite. That horse is moving. So if we're thirsty but we feel hungry, that used to serve a really good purpose, because back in the day we could be thirsty and then grab a piece of fruit or a vegetable and that would satisfy that thirst because there was so much water in it. Nowadays, foods are so processed and so dehydrated that it does not quench our thirst. But God and I both know that if I will just take the time to drink my water first, then my desires will change, and they do, because the water does so many things. I have a video called A Word on Water. Water, it's almost infinite, the good things that the water does for us, including boost our mood, boost our energy, and once those 2 things happen, I'm no longer just pining and fantasizing about different forms of sugar and flour. I drink the water and then I have a new perspective. So if I stay away from these things that have been getting me tangled up, these things that man has made, and like I said, man makes messes. If I stay away from those, I can trust that my hunger levels will be appropriate. And if I stay hydrated, my hunger levels will be appropriate and I can fuel my body properly. I have been very hesitant to get back on any kind of calorie or even macro counting program, even though all I'm eating lately are macro and micronutrients. But again, man has made so many programs, so many apps, so many ways of counting these things. But all of that counting is something that human beings have come up with. I compare it, and I think the best analogy is our vehicles and the gasoline, the fuel that we put in them. So fuel is anything that burns. I learned years ago when I was teaching the kids at school that fuel, in order to have a fire, you have to have 3 things: fuel, heat, and oxygen. Fuel is anything that burns. So calories are fuel. Gasoline is fuel. And when I compare my body to that Suburban over there, it would not make a lot of sense if I gave that Suburban the exact same amount of gasoline, let's say 9 gallons. That Suburban sitting right over there. It would not make sense if every single day I came outside and put 9 gallons in that tank. Whether it sat there for 3 weeks or whether we fired it up and took it on a road trip out west. So I don't want to arbitrarily give my body a certain amount every single day. I appreciate, with regards to food addiction, how necessary it is to do that for a period of time to get things regulated. And I am not suggesting that anybody stops doing that. If you have something working for you, I always say, hey, if it's working, it's working. If it's working, keep doing it by all means. But this is my update for you on day 12, that I am finding regularity with my sleep patterns. By 8 or 9 o'clock, I'm done. I fall asleep, and I sleep hard and I sleep well until I wake up in the morning about 6 or so. That's new for me. I'm finding regularity with my eating. That if I can just, like I said, stay away from all these things, I can trust my body to function properly, and I can give my body what it needs as far as fuel goes, depending on the day. Some days less, some days more. I'm finding regularity with my exercise. The more I do it, the more I do it. Like I said, my in-laws live a half a mile away, and instead of driving my car up there, I walked. And I'm finding regularity with my digestion. There's another Mennonite. So I, in a lot of ways, am functioning, meaning things going in and coming out, including energy levels and food and sleep and exercise, and I am working out for the fun of it and to feel good. That's it. I'm functioning in ways I haven't. My leptin, hormones that regulate hunger, my circadian rhythm, hormones and chemicals in our brains, serotonin and melatonin that regulate sleep. My update for today is really just about regulation, how much better my body's functioning and how much more regularity. I'm looking for the right form of the word regular. Things are getting regular, and I'm really happy to report that. I love you dearly. We'll talk again soon. Bye. P.S. I'm about to show you. I went to the Mennonite grocery store yesterday. I'm about to show you a little sign that they had at their deli. I thought it was really, really neat and worth taking a picture of. It just said that I have time to do everything God's asking me to do every day, which is something that I say often, or very similar to something that I say often. I have everything I need to do everything He's asking me to do. And this sign, you'll see it here in just a second, says something right along those lines with regards to time. Speaking of Mennonite grocery store, I was telling Susan Miller yesterday that I called them to place my order for the deli, and when I call them, if they don't answer, they always call me back. Isn't that great? I have never had a grocery store return my call. And they do. Every time I call, if they don't answer, within a couple minutes somebody calls and says, "Hello, looks like we just missed your call." I said, "You did, thank you. May I place my order?" So this is a lovely place to live, a lovely place to raise kids, and a lovely place to buy deli meat. You all have a great, lovely day. Bye. Oh, Clyde. Leave her alone. Jubilee hunts out in the field, and we can find her because of that tail. Jubilee, I have ruined your camouflage.